If you're looking at automating anything in your business right now, this might just be the most important video you're going to watch. So stick around. A client came to me after spending $40,000 on an automation, and that automation actually made their problem even worse. Now, the process ran every single day on schedules, but it looks like there was no error. The output were just, they look good, but they were wrong. And because it was automated, nobody was watching it, nobody caught it, and it ran for 6 weeks. And that 6 weeks was just 6 weeks of wrong data flowing through their business, wrong reports, and even wrong decisions being made based on the data. And all of this could have just been avoided, and not by bigger budget and not even by better technologies. There's a framework I use, and it only takes you 5 minutes for you to know what to automate, when to automate, and what not to. Here's the thing that people don't tell you about automation: the technology is actually the easiest part. The most hardest part is the part that causes you to lose your investment. And it is actually in you figuring out whether a process is actually ready to be automated, even before you build anything, before you spend any money on anything. I've been doing this long enough to know that the most failed automation projects were not killed by bad tools, actually. They were killed by bad timing, wrong process, and wrong sequence. So I built a scoring tool to solve that problem, and I called it Automation Opportunity Scorecard. This scorecard has 5 dimensions, and each one's called 1 to 3. So at the end of the day, you're going to add them up. So the higher the number, the stronger the case for moving forward. Let me walk you through it, and I will show you exactly how my $40,000 client should have scored it, so you can see where it all went wrong. Now, the dimension 1 is repetition. And what's repetition? It's actually how often the process actually happens. So if once a year, score it 1, that's very low. If it is weekly, 2, very medium. And if it is daily or even multiple times a day, that's very high, you give it 3. And this is the logic. Automation pays for itself through repetition. Every hour you save compounds every time the workflow runs. A process that runs 500 times a month, even if it's just shaving 5 minutes off each runs, it's going to give you over 40 hours back every single month. So my client's process actually runs every day. So that's 3. You can just clock it, 3. Dimension number 2 is rule clarity. You see, this one is where most people underestimate the problem. Can you write down the rules of the process completely with no ambiguity? Can you say, if this happens, then always do that? So if yes, you have to score a 3. That's very strong. But if the answer is, well, it depends, that's very low. You have to score it 1. Because automation at its core is rule execution. And that is it. So if the rule is not clear, the automation cannot execute them reliably. That means you're going to be building on sand. So my client process had clear rules. So you're also going to score that 3. So that's not their problem, actually. Dimension number 3 is the data consistency. And this is where things even get more interesting. Is the data entering the process clean? Does it always arrive in the same format, from the same source, with the same field filled in? If yes, then the score is 3. But if the data is messy, it's very dirty, it's not consistent, it comes from multiple places in different formats, you have to score that one 1. And I'm sure you've heard the phrase garbage in, garbage out. So automation doesn't fix that problem, it amplifies it. because now your system is processing garbage at scale and is even doing it confidently, rapidly, very fast, and automatically until someone finally noticed that, okay, this is what's going wrong. And in my own client, it was after 6 weeks. 6 weeks, they later noticed. That was actually my client's problem. Their data was coming in from three different sources, different formats, different field names, and nobody had standardized it. So that was actually what caused their major problem. So the automation worked exactly as designed, but the design was built on broken data. So we have to score that one because in its real sense, it is one, very low. Now, dimension four, it is error cost. What actually happens if the process produces the wrong output? So if the consequence is low, an email goes to the wrong folder or someone have to move it manually, you have to score that one. Why? Because it is a low risk. So when we are talking about error cost, we are using low risk now. So it is safe to automate that. But if the consequence is very high, like money moves to the wrong account, a client gets incorrect information, a legal document goes to the wrong party, you have to score a 3. That's very high. Now, here's the part I want you to hold on to carefully. Because the error cost is very high does not mean you should not automate. It only means that you have to automate it carefully. You have to build in checkpoints, you have to add human reviews at every key steps. And you have to create audit logs so you can trace every output back to its source. So the goal of this part is not to remove human from the process. It is to remove human from the boring aspect of it and then keep them to focus on the part that actually require judgment. My client error cost is very high, so it should have been 3. And what they should have done is to have triggered safeguard they never built. Now, the dimension 5 is the current pain level. This is the last one actually, and honestly, is you can't ignore it. Just you can't ignore it. And it is how much is the broken process actually hurting your organization right now. So is it a minor annoyance? If that's the case, just put 1. Is it costing real money? Is it burning you out? Is it burning the best people out? Is it driving clients crazy? If that's the case, that's very high. So you have to market 3. So the pain level tells you the urgency and the ROI. So the higher the pain, the higher the return on investing in it. So which means even an imperfect automation that is done carefully is worth pursuing. So in my own client case now, their team were exhausted. The manual work was even killing their morale. So the pain level is very high, which is 3. So now let me now show you where everything went wrong. But before that, let us sum everything up. So now the dimension 1 is repetition, which is 3. They do it every day, it happens every day. Now the dimension 2 is rule clarity, so which is also 3. Their rules are very clear. Now the dimension 3 is the data consistency. This is where everything messed up because it is 1 and that's a warning sign. The warning sign is not that you should not do it, but it's a warning sign. We're going to deal with that. The dimension 4 is the error cost, which is 3. The error is very, very high. So they also need a safeguard right there. So that's another problem that they had. And the dimension 5 is the current pain level is very high. So they needed automation quite all right. So now the total is 13/15. That's actually a very strong automation candidate. But looking at the scorecard, there were a lot of warning signs, not a lot actually. For the dimension 3 and 4, the the warning were very strong. I didn't think they went through this scorecard. They would have seen what the card is saying. The data consistency is actually the one that wasted their $40,000 and even the error cost as well. They should have put a safeguard. So the automation opportunity scorecard is not complicated. but I know it's rigorous. And that's the point because it forces you to slow down for 5 minutes before you even spend weeks or tens of thousands of dollars building something that will eventually break at the background. So this is what you should do. Run this on the next process someone asks you to automate. Take like 5 to 10 minutes, then do the scoring. And if anything scores a one, that doesn't mean you should stop. It just means that that's a to-do list. So you have to fix that one, then build the automation. Drop your score in the comment and then tell me what process you are currently evaluating and what the score is. I'm going to read everything. And if you also want a full playbook for what actually happens after the scorecard, what to build and in what order, and even the tools, you can also give a comment. We're going to fix that next time.